Mr. Transformers 96 here with another video where I'm going to be talking about a newly shown Hot Toys figure, this time from Avengers Endgame, and it is Cap himself, Captain America. This is probably the figure that I was most looking forward to seeing from the Endgame line, so I'm very happy that he is finally on pre-order. I will say that I have seen the movie now 3 times. I'm not going to talk about spoilers until the very end of this, and I'll give you a proper warning as well. So if you haven't seen it, not to worry, just kind of click away once I get started with the spoiler talk. But let's talk about the figure here. So now this is interesting. I feel it's actually hard for me to decide what I feel about this figure. Some of me just wants to like jump on this as like the best thing ever, and then some of me is like, they could have done better, you know. So it's an interesting one. There's a lot to talk about here. Well, let's start off with the face sculpt, which is the most. It's good, but it's not great at the same time. First of all, you get a lot of options when it comes to the face, which I'm so happy about. I'm really happy that he does include multiple expressions. That's something that I absolutely loved from the Civil War Captain America. That is a figure that I considered getting but decided not to overall, and I've always regretted it. I've always wanted that Civil War Captain America. So this is finally the Captain America that most closely represents that Captain America, where you get the helmeted head sculpt with extra mouthpieces as well as an unmasked head sculpt. Now, the only thing that's disappointing is they didn't update it at all. It's just newly painted, of course. The sculpts themselves are the same. The only exception to this, I believe, is that the Civil War Captain America, if memory serves me, only came with 2 mouth sculpts. This one comes with a third, which is the least good one, if so it's still not like a big win, which is very disappointing. So the first head sculpt is, of course, the helmeted one, where he's got his helmet on, and then the mouthpieces are what are interchangeable to express different expressions, basically. I'm actually looking it up right now just to see if I'm right that that there is one new mouth sculpt. Yeah. Yep, so the Civil War one only came with those 2 mouse sculpts. This one right here, this weird one, this kind of like a little bit of anger, but not fully angry like the other one, that is the new sculpt, and it's the worst one. So it's like, I mean, whoop-de-doo that you gave us a new one if it sucks. So that is quite disappointing, I must say. But the mouse sculpts that you get are the standard one, just like this. You get this like half in between weird one, and then you get this angry one, which is quite cool. So I do like the head sculpts the mouthpieces that you get, like the original ones, are very nice. I do like them. Would I like them to be updated? Yes, just because I don't think that they're perfect, especially on display. These head sculpts, or the head sculpt with the helmet on, doesn't have like a perfect look to it. It doesn't. It could be improved, and therefore, if it can be improved, I'd like to see it improved. Now, the extra head sculpt with the Steve Rogers, non-helmeted, that is actually a really good head sculpt. They've been using that for quite a while. If I'm not mistaken, they started using that back in the Winter Soldier line. If I'm not mistaken, they might have updated it for Civil War, I don't remember. But that's just a really nice head sculpt. It's really solid. It definitely looks like Chris Evans. And that's one that I'm okay, I guess, with them not redoing, just because I think it's pretty perfect. But the helmeted one, I think, could be better. And therefore, I would like to see them updated and make it better. I'd also like to see him battle damaged, especially in like the shots in the trailer, where his face is very dirty and he's got some blood going on. I'd like to see that as well. I think that would have been really cool. Just because we have so many pristine, versions, it'd be cool to get like a really battle damaged one. The Mark 7 Iron Man, that one has a ton of pieces to turn it battle damaged. It'd be really cool if they did the same type of thing for Captain America, where you obviously get a battle damaged shield, but then also a battle damaged face. I think that would have looked great. Going off the face now, just into the costume itself. I really like the costume. This is a great, it's really an iconic Captain America suit. What's nice is the suit is close enough to the other movies where it still represents some of the other movies, I think. Like, you can totally have it as a stand-in for Civil War, Age of Ultron, those type of ones, but it also is unique. It's in its own right to fit just for Endgame, where it has the chain metal type of look. It's very identifiable as the Endgame armor, or Endgame suit, but it does still, it's very similar to your other suits. So I do like that quite a bit. And overall, it looks like it's designed very nicely. I'll be interested to see articulation. I would imagine that he'll have very similar articulation to the Infinity War one, which his articulation is okay. The legs are really hindered in the thigh area, which is disappointing. I assume that he'll have the same issue, but the arms had some decent range, so I could see that kind of being the same type of design there. As far as what you get with him, he comes with a decent amount, and I will talk about those additional accessories when I talk about the spoilers. But going over the what you get the helmeted head sculpt with 3 interchangeable mouthpieces, like I've talked about. You get a separate just helmet that's where he can just hold it. You get a head sculpt with unhelmeted look. Then you get the little compass that has a picture of Peggy Carter in it that he used in most of the movies, especially the first original Captain America movie. He has a shield that is battle damage, where it's really it's got like scratches on it basically. I'll talk about that when I get into the spoiler. I don't know how I feel about him not coming with a clean shield. Some of me thinks it's fine. Some of me thinks it would have been cool if he came with a clean shield as well. Then we get a standard base and your standard hands. And then let me just talk about the price before I get into some of the spoilers. He is $275 or $74, which is very expensive. This is incredibly expensive. I thought that the other Captain America from the Infinity War line, there was like the premium edition one. I thought that one was quite overpriced at $267. This one is $7 more than that, and I don't think that you get. Well, you get a decent amount with it, but I just don't know if it's worth that extra bit. Because the other one, the reason that it was more expensive is it came with 2 like massive staffs from the Black Order members. It came with a dead Outrider figure, and then a little extra name or extra environment piece for the base. So I feel like you got a lot larger stuff with that other one. I think that this is very incredibly high, because he doesn't come with any big accessories. Now, he does come with a decent amount of accessories, but they're all very small. The base is standard, the hands are standard. He comes with 2 head sculpts, which is not like the first time that's ever happened. This happened for Civil War. So I don't think that what you get justifies the price. And before I get into spoilers, so this is still non-spoiler, the 2 secret accessories are not worth the extra money either. Like, those accessories are both just, they're not very big, and they wouldn't push this guy over. If like one of those accessories was like something big or something, that would make sense, but it's not. So overall, I think that the price is very overpriced. In my opinion, it's very overpriced. Let's get into spoilers now. So this is fair warning. Do click away if you haven't seen Endgame yet. But the spoilers for this, I'm going to talk about multiple spoilers here. First of all, the additional accessories. I think it's pretty obvious which accessories those are. One of them will, of course, be Thor's hammer, which is super necessary. My favorite scene in the entire movie is when he gets the hammer and fights Thanos. Unfortunately, that was spoiled for me before the movie came out. The spoilers came out for the movie a couple days in advance, actual like footage of the movie, and I did my best to stay away from that, and I actually never saw a shot from the movie that was spoilerish. However, I saw somebody post a picture of a Marvel Legends Captain America with the hammer, and I just put 2 and 2 together that obviously that's such a weird thing to do, and with the fact that spoilers just came out, I figured it out and was I was actually super happy about it, but I was disappointed that I saw it early on. My favorite moment of the entire movie, though, so I'm very excited to pose him with the hammer. I think that would be super cool. He used it so much better than Thor ever did in 3 movies, so I think that that's pretty funny, actually. And then the other accessory I think is obviously going to be like the half shield, the one that's broken in half and he's just using half of it. I think that's a really cool accessory, and I think that kind of extreme battle damage look is really cool. But because we're getting one that's like extremely battle damaged, I almost say that the other shield should not be battle damaged. I do like the look of the battle damage shield though, with the scrapes on it. I think that looks really cool. And to be honest, like, he uses the shield throughout the movie, but not with this costume. When he has this costume on, the only time that he has a clean shield is when they're testing out the Infinity Gauntlet, and then with the explosion happening, that's what creates those scratches. So by then, when he's with this costume, for the majority of the fight at all, he has the shield that looks like that. So I don't mind it, but I would have liked just a clean shield in general. I mean, they're charging so much for this guy. We should get a clean shield, and we should also get a new freaking head sculpt. I think that the price is way overdone. He comes with a lot, but none of it is big. It's all small stuff, as well as he doesn't even come with a new head sculpt. He comes with 2 head sculpts, don't get me wrong, but they're both reissues, just with new paint. So in my opinion, I think this guy's way overpriced. I think two two like 50 because he comes with two head sculpts. 250 would be okay. 255 maybe. But I think this guy's a solid $20 to $30 overpriced in my opinion. So yeah, so that's a bit disappointing. Now, do I plan to get it? Obviously, this is going to be probably Captain America's last suit. I'm sure that Hot Toys will make more. I would imagine they'll do like a DX version in a couple of years or something like that. Who knows? Maybe they'll even make more from this movie. They'll do another first Avengers Captain America costume because obviously we see him in that a few times in the film. So I could see that this not be like the very last Captain America Hot Toys figure, but this is the last Captain America suit that we'll get that's new. And I do. Captain America is my favorite Avengers character. He's slowly become my favorite Marvel character, and therefore I would like his last suit, as well as I always regretted not getting the Civil War one, and this one is the closest to the Civil War one I'm going to get, with the two head sculpts and the interchangeable mouthpieces, which I really like. So I do plan to get this one, but I do think it's overpriced, which is very disappointing. But yeah, overall, really do like this figure. Can't wait to get it and pose it with Thor's hammer. I think he's going to look incredible. And the broken shield, I think, is going to look really cool as well. So there you go. That's my thoughts on this new Captain America Hot Toys figure from Avengers Endgame. Let me know what you guys think of it, and thanks so much for watching.